are you?
Hello there.
And hi, listeners.
Oh my god, we're really just going.
I got my retainer in. Oh, fuck it. You can't really tell, can you? When I put it in, I was like, oh, I'm a bit lispy.
Just try to hold back the essence.
They're going to go back to not being straight if I don't start wearing my retainer again.
Want me to take off my Invisalign?
Because, oh god, I'm sure other
This is
people
the
can relate. I had braces when I was younger, was loving life after I got them off, and then did the classic not wearing your retainer and then having to pay a lot of money to buy Invisalign like later on in life.
Isn't it so weird how like some people's teeth are straight, some people's aren't? Like surely
And
they
it's,
should
like, such a
genetically
massive
be
deal.
in the right place.
It's true, but I guess nobody's perfect, Georgie.
Nobody's
I literally went for like such a long run this morning around Media City, and obviously it's sunny anyway, so that kind of
Oh
like...
my god, right, Ed got in from 5k, he come in and he goes, I've just seen Anna's run on Strava, she's rapid. And I was like, yeah, I know.
So we've literally been out since like 12 o'clock.
Big day.
So, big day out. First day of the big sun. First day of the sun's
This
pretty
is
big.
what
I mean, I'm like deliriously
The
tired.
sun is big.
It's been the first big summer vibes day.
Well, yesterday was
it's been
like
hot,
nice,
sunny,
but it wasn't.
still a bit cold.
And I've seen loads of people on like Instagram stories having barbecues. Like,
I was in like a
I feel
vest
like
for
I've
some of
caught
it.
it.
But yeah, that wasn't a very interesting update, but I have some fun facts for you. Not really a fun fact, but I was literally thinking the other day about how much we must clean our teeth in our lifetime. How many hours in your lifetime do you clean your teeth?
So
So Googled it. 4 minutes a day, 28 minutes a week, 120 minutes a month, 79 days
that's
in
mad.
a lifetime. 79
I can't
days
just brush my teeth, you know. Like, I need to go and do something. Like, I'll start brushing my
Same.
teeth and then I'll go and like, why can't I just stay still?
But make sure you're getting in all them crevices.
Really? Yeah, this has been officially the last weekend of February. Nice and
Super
sunny.
nice.
Everyone's been out and about.
Weird, isn't it?
Oh my god, if this is what it's like now when people like shouldn't be coming out, what's it going to be like in actual summer? Everyone's going to be so busy because everyone's missed out, and it's going to be great though. I'm excited.
Yeah. This week was the week where Boris announced the lockdown plans. He announced the dates of like when we can start doing things again. Also, it's been really nice weather. Festivals being announced again this week. Everyone's just got that like summer vibe. Like things are
It's
looking
like
up.
the
We're
complete
booking
opposite.
holidays.
It's the complete opposite of this time last year,
Yes.
where everything was cancelled, everything
Exactly.
was closing. But like now, it's like, oh, you are going to have that
Yeah.
summer. I really, really do hope all these dates he's put forward are possible.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. But remember when we were supposed to have like 5 days at Christmas week in mixed households, and then they changed it to one like a week before.
Yeah, but do you not think this time more people are going to be getting the vaccine? So like that's a major change. But
Why is this turned to a coronavirus episode?
Oh my god, yeah.
They all
sorry.
do.
I mean, that is the epitome of our life
We
right
can,
now.
to be fair, that is a part of what we're going to be talking about as well, because it's very 2020-esque.
I guess that is probably a good segue into
Yes.
the
Let's
topic
go.
of the week. So
Yes.
obviously this was a lot more timely a couple of weeks ago.
It's very like December, January drama.
Very much like tea on social media, where everyone was kicking off about influencers being out and about on holiday, essentially doing essential work in Dubai mainly. Obviously there was a lot of debate about whether or not what they're doing is considered essential work, jet setting off and living the life. There's a
In
lot
the
of
points we can
sunshine
make.
around a pool, taking selfies in their bikinis, sipping cocktails. Obviously, we're not disputing that influencing isn't a real job. Of course it is. This is just focusing solely on the travelling during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I felt more passionate about this subject when we were stuck in the cold, rainy England, when it was like December, January especially, when it was dark and cold. We were stuck inside, couldn't see friends and family. And that's when it was like all these celebrities are in the sun, sunbathing, sipping their cocktails with their money, like when loads of people in the UK have been really struggling financially, emotionally,
The biggest
mentally.
thing was that the whole point of having lockdown rules is that a responsible adult should make their own decisions and know what's right and what's wrong. Whereas if you're flaunting it and posting it around for more money, that was more of the problem than that people were actually away.
Yeah.
It's a slap in the face to everyone who is physically not going outside or seeing anyone.
Okay, so a Guardian article said, in fact, I actively enjoyed the fits of morality by people that would kill to be having a cocktail on the beach, but failing that would settle for threatening to kill the person that is having the cocktail on the beach. The problem was when these influencers were lording it over people, like constantly flashing the money that they're spending, but also they were trying to justify it by saying that they were influencing people, they were motivating people, like that.
Oh,
The girl that went on it this morning said that she was doing it to motivate people and support their mental health. Like, she was trying to inspire people. It's like, how are you inspiring people by riding on the back of a camel, taking selfies in the sun? How is that inspiring?
Because you don't get to that level, and you don't get that popular on social media if you're not a selfish person. Like, you get confidence from strangers liking you. Your job is to stare at pictures of yourself all day. That's not someone who thinks about the whole country
you have
and
to
the well-being of
the nation.
nation.
To be a social media star.
Of course. Even the few apologies we've seen are not legit. And I've seen a really interesting, it was a girl on TikTok actually. She'd been offered the exact same brand deal that someone was trying to use as their justification to going out to Dubai, and she was like, well, I did it from my bedroom in South London, so you didn't need to go out to Dubai.
Exactly, that's my point.
If anything, that's really insulting to the brands that are paying your bills, and no brand has said we need to fly you out to Dubai for this job.
You don't have to be in Dubai to be taking photos of your skincare brand.
They
You
were
could
on
literally be
holiday.
in your own flat. That's the thing that gets me. That's when it's not plausible and it's not justifiable to be out in Dubai. You don't need to be there. You're out to have a good time, go out in the evenings.
Any person will go on holiday and take selfies, take like mirror selfies, pictures on the beach, pictures of your food and your drinks. Like, that's not where the problem is. It's then trying to justify that that's like you're on holiday, you're just earning money from the pictures of it. Like, these loopholes are the problem. So when you can work remotely, and these people who make their living from a mobile phone or from Instagram, it's a great excuse.
Where you draw the line of it being okay or not, and like it winding people up, is when people are being insensitive.
But on a whole, going on holiday is insensitive. I went away in October when it was absolutely fine to do so. But looking back, that feels so weird that it was okay to go on holiday then. The airports were open, like the destination was open, didn't have to quarantine when I got back. Like, it was allowed,
wasn't against the rules.
but I still feel a bit guilty. Surely you must feel guilty to go away when you know you have to quarantine when you get back. So that's why the people have stayed out there to wait until it's not the case anymore. The whole like influencer culture on Instagram. But I think if I hadn't like cleansed that like last year, I would have seen more of it.
I think there's two major points I wanted to make when we were talking about like how insensitive it is that all of the tourism that's now going on from the UK over into Dubai, the cases have risen there such a huge amount.
They must hate British people.
Exactly. They've now had to close all their bars and restaurants because it's been absolutely overrun.
I didn't even know that.
British people. A social care executive in Dubai said with all of the influencers coming in and getting reservations at attractions and slots for residents has been so difficult. So she's a resident in Dubai is saying that now trying to book anywhere is so difficult because all these influencers have booked everything up. That's so annoying. Imagine, like, it's just creating such a bad name for people in the UK as well.
Every country feels like this. Like,
a load of like foreign people came here and was booking everything up, and we couldn't book anything in our own country. We'd be fuming. It would create such a division between cultures.
Well, we were the spreaders this time last year.
Yeah.
So I read it was basically about how like there's been obviously a lot of rise and fall with the whole like history of Dubai and how it's come about and how this like insane metropolis has just literally risen from the desert. In the last few years they had genuinely been like suffering with oil prices. They had a plan in like 2019, 2020 to have a massive like tourism boost, which was going to help their economy loads. Yeah. So obviously that got paused. They're doing all they can still to try and counteract that and keep the profit in the economy alive as possible because they really, really desperately needed it. It's like every other country will be next year, like trying to get everything back. And, like,
so you're saying that the tourism prior to COVID and all that, they really needed it?
Yeah, there is no way that Dubai would have said, no, we don't want British tourism this year because they need it.
But then again, like, surely health has to be the priority now in that...
Yeah, like so many countries have really prioritised the health over the economy, haven't they? There's like a small handful that have. It was a city that was created to be a big show and a fancy place to go. Yeah. It's like the Las Vegas of the Middle
East.
East.
Yeah, that's true, I suppose.
Everything's a show. Like you go to dinner, it's a show. You go to downstairs to your hotel for a drink, it's a show.
So it's like it almost backfired on them a little bit. It's such an attraction that is actually, during a pandemic, it's just rising case numbers. The other point about insensitivity was when influencers, topless, on a yacht in Dubai, post captions such as this one.
Make sense of humour your default emotions. It may be easy to say this whilst I live a carefree lifestyle currently in Dubai, especially as the UK enters another lockdown. But if it's anything I learned from the first lockdown, you have to see the best in a bad situation.
Like, you may as well have written, whilst all you suckers stuck in a rainy England.
Oh no, 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 no.
I'm sorry, but do you have two brain cells that you're not going to realise that in posting that you're just going to come across as an absolute arsehole?
Genuinely not. Like, are you that ignorant that you think that was okay to
How are
post?
they
But
not going to realise how that's going to come across to everyone in the UK who's can't
imagine
afford to
reading
go
that
to
back
Dubai,
and thinking,
who's
yeah, I'll
not,
post that.
who is doing the right thing and is staying in England and not travelling. How dare people like that post things preaching about how you should use this time wisely and to your best advantage to better yourself.
Like, some people are still working
From
full time. I don't have time. Like,
Exactly.
whilst the world is very depressing, like, you don't have time to do anything else.
so narrow-minded, tone deaf. They clearly have no idea what it's like for the average person in the UK who's living a normal life, who's probably furloughed. The idea of going abroad is like a million miles away in their mind. Yeah, or lost their job. In debt, exactly. All these problems which an influencer is so immune to facing, probably not even thinking about contracting COVID. It may be easy for me to say, while I live a carefree lifestyle, literally just constantly posting pictures of them on a yacht or like them by the pool. How is it not dissimilar to walking past starving children with food and being like, it'll be okay in the end? Because you're flaunting your financial security to people who have potentially lost jobs. Like the NHS is like...
Yeah, but it is that insensitivity. They don't know who's seeing their stuff.
They should do. That's their job to know who's seeing their stuff.
It's
and
not.
Like, the reaction that their posts are going to receive.
Do you think they see numbers of comments and numbers of likes and think about the people behind them? No, they don't. They see the numbers.
I mean, they should do.
I think the bottom line that we're discovering here is that the ignorance of it all is the problem. Is what's more annoying than people just being there.
So insensitive.
It's the insensitivity, the ignorance.
Make the most of this time.
Such a slap.
I know it might be easy for me to say this.
It's telling an anxious person to not worry.
Oh my god.
It's telling a depressed person to cheer up.
You're so right. It literally is. And I said, when the people you're preaching to are telling you that you're being offensive and insensitive, you should probably listen to them. And he's like, how do you know I have a financial safety blanket whilst on a yacht in Dubai? And if you are concerned about people's mental health, why are you potentially making them worse by lording it over people? What a great time you're having in Dubai.
Like yours, this has stressed you out.
At one point I was like proper sad about the fact that we couldn't even go and see our family whilst people were literally in Dubai.
That's it, Anna. Like, why is it okay for you to go to the other side of the world and some people can't go to the other side of the town they live in?
Exactly. To see their family who they haven't seen in so long, or to see their grandparents who might not potentially have very long. It was like, that was what was frustrating me so much.
No one's saying that this guy hasn't struggled. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no one's
it's
taking
not a
that
personal
away
attack
from you.
on him.
No one's taking away from you that you probably have struggled during a pandemic. Like, it's a horrible situation. Like we spoke about, it's the fear of the unknown, and I'm sure everyone, no matter what position you are in, has struggled. But it's like, don't then make that worse for people in the UK.
We're not all in the same boat, we're in the same storm.
Yeah.
And some people are
on yachts in Dubai.
But when they get old and their work dries up and they have to get a real job and then they start struggling, maybe
I don't think that'll ever happen. I think influencing is always going to be...
Yeah, but it's about being young and attractive.
Well, they will have earned enough money to secure their life.
No, because they'll piss it away going on holiday to Dubai. Every influencer who's prime age, let's say 18 to 28, so in 30 years, they're 48 to 58. Do you think there's enough room for the same amount of 18 to 28-year-olds there are now? What are they going to be advertising? Are they going to be getting enough?
Their company that they set up when they had all the money to, or like they had the brand image to set it up.
Not every influencer is clever and starts a brand or invests in property.
They've got all these financial social media advisors and agencies.
I don't think they do. I think
every influencer is assigned to an agency.
It doesn't mean they've got their best interest and they're influencing how they're spending their money. It just means they're getting them work.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. That work dries up.
They don't.
The money does. It's the same as like music industry as well. It's like when we were talking about Anna, like turning 25, like the over 25s. There's a reason why that was a category. What percentage of people start a social media career in their 30s or their 40s or their 50s? True. It's teenagers. It's people in their early 20s.
That is very true. And also, your brand image when you're an influencer is everything. If you're pissing people off back home, essentially your popularity is what makes you money.
No, of course.
If you're posting insensitive shit like that, people are going to look at you in such different light.
That's lovely. Go on holiday and have a nice time, but you've got to give a shit about what you're leaving, what you're flying away from, and what ultimately you're going to be flying back to.
Yeah,
There is going to be backlash. How anyone could sit on a plane to Dubai and not have an ounce of guilt. Is it worth it?
Them trying to justify it is probably coming from a place of guilt. Like, they obviously feel like they have to justify it. They're not holding their hands and being like, I'm sorry, I fucked up. They're being like, oh yeah, but it's work.
That's what I'm saying, that the fact that it is your job is a great excuse, but it doesn't make it okay.
It was the audacity of, I think it was James Locke from Towie, who had been sneakily posting images of himself in coats and scarves in his Essex garden. Like, obviously had taken the pictures ages ago whilst being in Dubai, trying to give the illusion that he's at home in Essex.
That's ultimately worse. At least he knew it was wrong.
Yeah, he knew it was wrong and he's still out there. He's not coming home. He's
No, I know, but like, that's better than...
than being like, I don't know what I've done wrong, I'm not doing anything
Exactly.
wrong.
Like, at least he wasn't in denial. He knew it was bad enough that he had to cover it up. Do you know Fleur de Force? British YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how it came about. She didn't post anything about going, but like the week before Christmas, when I think that was when it was getting like really like heated and like people were talking about it on social media a lot. I think when she was there was more stricter rules had just come in about going away.
Mm-hmm.
But she hadn't posted anything about being away, was genuinely just on a family holiday and thought it was okay to go.
Mm-hmm.
And posted some like big apology about it all in the stories, and loads of people were really annoyed. But that is very different. Like, to admit straight away like that you recognise it was insensitive and that she felt guilty even when she was getting on the plane, but technically when she went it was okay. And it was just very unfortunate. I think it was Dubai that she went to.
It was the same as us feeling guilty that we went away. Like, you keep saying that you went away and you didn't feel like it was okay.
Yeah.
And looking back on it in hindsight, like, that's...
I mean, it did at the time.
Like that was right.
It almost...
It's probably the same, but she's just under fire because she's in the public eye and under a microscope.
No, exactly.
Everything she does is scrutinised.
But it wasn't in the same league as literally being like, I'm in Dubai, I'm posting about it.
I read that one of the influencer agencies, one of their executives had said that the company had to advise influencers against posting anything. And he said, most have listened to us. We've told them that the world has changed over the last 2 weeks. You've got to be more sensitive about who's seeing your post. But he added morally they should just lie low at the moment. I'm just... As if their agency has to tell them that, oh, maybe you should be posting at the moment because you're coming across like
That's what I'm saying, they're not their life advisors, they just get them work.
But the fact that they are having to, intervene and be like, please stop posting because you're pissing everyone off is terrible. It's an interesting argument, actually, because I don't know if you watched the series that he was in, but Anton from Love Island.
Oh yeah, no, I know who he is.
He actually did a podcast episode on influencers in Dubai about the fact that he's been out there for ages because he's setting up a new business, which I think is like a bar.
Oh my god, you can 100% actually fully be working now. And then someone
His
comes on
reason.
holiday for a week and it's like, don't justify that. It's not the same.
Saying about how he's pissed off that he's essentially getting lumped in the same category as like
Yeah.
every influencer that's out there on holiday, whereas he's actually over there to start a real business. For him, being in Dubai is essential for the start of his business because that's when he's
moved there
his
to work. Yeah, that's different.
business.
I know.
And you have to be there, like you can't do the work from the UK.
I know a few people who have moved there to work.
And like he's setting up an actual business in Dubai at the same time as being an influencer, and he is using his brand image to then create that business and
That is very different.
market it. That is completely different to influencers that are just going over there for a holiday and posting the occasional bikini pic and skincare brand shot. Another thing that pissed me off, you can probably figure out who it is, a long time reality TV star was out there with a load of friends. They said that they'd booked this apartment to take promotional shots of whatever products they were doing. And they were like hotel hopping. Every couple of days they'd go to a new hotel. COVID.
Oh, to get the new room, to get
a
new
to
background.
get like a new, literally like outfit shots. There was just one video which was just awful, and that was the point which I unfollowed her. Every time they went to a new hotel, they'd like film the first reaction, like an unboxing. It was like an unboxing but for a hotel room, and it was obviously a beautiful hotel in Dubai, probably cost like thousands a night. And they went in and they were literally screaming like, oh, this is shit. And I was just like, how? Not only saying that, but posting it on your story and not thinking about how you're coming across. Like so ungrateful for like where you are. And then there was just like post after post after post of them just being on a night out, being like girls' night out.
The thing, a lot of influencers are different. Some people will take the time to like speak to their followers and like it's a community and they treat them as their friends. They share a lot of thoughts and feelings and everything like on the stories. Some are not like that at all. Some just are sharing their life and just posting things. They don't have that connection maybe as much. So a lot of people, maybe if they were sharing that we're all in this together, try and like have that connection with people and, you know, helping people because you can relate to them and you think, oh, this person has this massive following but they are in the same situation as me. And then to see them go away, that was more like the kick in the teeth. You're just a hypocrite. There's a lot of people who can afford to go away and could have and didn't because it's not a good thing to do.
Yeah, unless they're like going home, which is obviously justified, like they're going to see their family. Obviously we don't know every reason behind every influencer's travel plans.
I would love to know how many of these people who have been in Dubai, if that's a rule worth breaking, if you think that's okay to go to the other side of the world for on holiday, maybe had nipped to see their grandparents, which rules are okay to break. If you think that going to the other side of the world is okay, I would love to think that they'd also gone and checked in on their grandparents, checked in on their friends who are their old school friends who aren't doing very well. Which privilege you choose it, like what are you taking advantage of here?
Yeah, the whole influencer name has got such bad connotations to it.
Yeah, well,
there's a difference between being a social media creator and being an influencer.
100%.
The social media creators, they're using YouTube, they're like chatting to their followers,
Influencer
like their followers
is
and their
so
friends
broad.
are like everything.
Yeah, but
whereas influencers like on TV, off the back of TV, they're getting brand
potentially,
deals.
yeah, but influencers is so broad. Like it's the same word as like celebrity. Celebrities can be like influencers, but influencers aren't always celebrities.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Social media creator is someone that's literally started from the ground up, is a completely normal person. They created their own YouTube channel just to have a bit of fun, and off the back of that, they ended up getting a following. Yeah. And that's like way more genuine because they got a following by just completely being themselves without an agency.
But that's how you get people to like you as well.
That is true, and they're a lot more likeable. An influencer, I don't think, has any idea of how they're coming across on social media because they've never had that start from the bottom, building interaction. They just like went on a TV show like Love Island or whatever, was there and got such a huge following in such a short amount of time, like shot to fame. Didn't really know what to do.
Not in
don't know
control.
how to come across.
That's really interesting. I hadn't thought that. They get their following from a short appearance on TV. Granted, Love Island's quite long, but it's still only an hour of their day you're seeing. You know, their storylines are being edited to make them be perceived in a certain way.
That's so true. Yeah.
And you have no idea like what the producers want their storyline to be and how they're going to make them come across. And the 10 shittest things you could say in a day all get put in your segments on Love Island. Like, how unfortunate for you is that?
Yeah, you don't really know them at all.
I think that's a big part of why Molly May's so popular, is that she had a following, worked on her social media and Instagram beforehand, and has continued to do that and be. She's so genuine anyway.
Because she probably started from.
Exactly. No, she 100% did. She had like 100,000 followers before she went to Love Island and a YouTube.
She's a lot more aware, I think.
For how young she is, compared to the ones that are in their late 20s, early 30s that are idiots.
Nasty people. Yeah, I think they're doing all the things that they think they should do to be popular, like post bikini pic.
But you know what? This is what makes me laugh, and like I said before, where are they going to be? Building a career in your 20s is great, but you've still got to think of the long-term plan. And just hope that with all this money they're earning, making like, God, it sounds so boring, but like, if you're earning a lot of money in your 20s, you've got to be investing in it and thinking about your future, thinking about the rest of life, not just pissing it away. But I've seen Sam Gowland from that same year. He's bought loads of houses. And I would think, wow, this guy, like, he's not, like, mega popular out of all of them. These influencers we're talking about are flashing the cash. Yeah. They're showing their design. They show every part of their life possible, all the best parts. One of the biggest things and the best things that you can do is buy a house. And that's something you probably don't see from a lot of them. Whenever they do, they share it. Yeah. But I feel like it's not a big thing. If you've got that much money, why aren't you buying a house? That's the safest, biggest investment you can make. Imagine having 10 grand and thinking, oh, I'll buy a bag with this, not a house. Put a deposit down on the house.
That's true.
This is what I mean
about...
about...
are like renting flats and stuff, aren't they?
This happens to like 90s and noughties pop stars. You get old and you're not popular anymore. You aren't humble enough to get a normal job. And if you did get a normal job, you'd get taken the piss out for it. Yeah. This is where they're going to be. In 10 years, it'd be so interesting to see who's still relevant, who's still earning, who's still popular.
Time capsule episode right here, right now.
Literally, well, 10 years.
That's a long time.
Who's still got 1 million followers. That'll be who has the last laugh, the test of time. Yeah. Who's successful, who's still happy, who's still popular. I want to kind of end this like positively as well, because obviously we've talked a lot about the whole sort of DUBAIGATE. The influencers that still have my support, attention, respect are the ones who have stayed at home, who I relate to, who are honest,
have opened up about their struggles as well.
Yeah, because that not the point of it? Do you not want to feel like these people are your friends? Like, that's the whole point.
Literally.
You don't click on someone's video if you don't feel like they're your mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, you talk to them. There's a lot more good than these horrible few examples that we've picked up.
Yeah. For ages afterwards, I had this like horrible, guilty... It was after someone that I follow put up a post about this whole situation, saying that essentially negativity breeds negativity, and everyone's in such a dire situation at the moment that we shouldn't be like knocking people down and like just let them do whatever they want to do. And like there's so much hate circulating on the internet, and like all these social media stars getting death threats. And I think, like people always say, you don't know what anyone's going through. But then there is also the point that I do genuinely believe that these influencers are so naive that they don't even know what they're doing wrong. They don't even know how they're coming across, and they don't know the potential damage that they could be doing, showing people the better life that they're living than them.
Even if he's not taking away anything that you said, he still read it. He still understands how you felt about it. It's the point of having a comment section open. Yeah. People are going to give you their opinions.
So it completely wasn't about the whole me trying to breed negativity or like me trying to bring people down.
Of course not.
It was just trying to make people open their eyes and be aware of how their captions and pictures are coming across to people that are in a more negative situation than them. It should more be about, well, we're all in this together. We should all be back at home, no matter what situation you're being in. You shouldn't be jetting off to Dubai.
Because do you think a post like that, do you think him posting that picture made anyone feel better than he felt about posting
Exactly.
that
No one's going to read that caption and feel motivated and feel good about themselves.
To be fair, a lot of the ones, especially people from Georgie Shore and Love Island, must have a really thick skin as well, because you've been through a lot of shit. When you're on TV and there's people commenting off, that's no control of theirs. It's not as if that's just their own comment section they can monitor. They probably do have a much thicker skin to it, but then it also almost insensitive and numbness to it as well, that they don't give a shit what anyone thinks about them anymore.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So they don't care if they're upsetting people.
Yeah. They no longer take comments seriously, even if they are constructive. They won't listen to it because they're so conditioned to try and not listen to the hate
that they just block it out. Some people, say an 18-year-old boy or anyone else,
not express it.
Type a comment or a message to them saying you should kill yourself. That's how they're gonna.
That's not constructive at all. Like, what's that gonna achieve? Nothing.
No, but like that's all they know to do.
Yeah. If they don't know how to express themselves in the correct.
I'm not defending people who make death threats, but you know what I mean. Like,
they just don't know any better.
They probably were just as angry as we are now.
Yeah, that's true.
I love when people because when you say you're someone who just keeps replying to someone's stories, you could just scroll up and see every other message they've ever sent you.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, they'll give them hate to get their attention, but really they love them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they'll be like, love you, you're so stunning, like...
Oh, yeah, that's
trying
weird,
to talk to them. And then the negative comment is the one that gets them attention.
Yeah.
So if you were like obsessed with an influencer or an Instagrammer and you send them messages all the time, and then the one they reply to is the one that you're being horrible to them.
That's true. Because that's the one that riles them up the most.
Exactly. But did you just want the attention?
That's actually so true. Like,
and then
that
is
really
the
only one they reply to, isn't it?
They'll be like, oh no, I love you so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. That's so funny. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say. Just an hour. So
wow. This has been probably the most... I mean, it is negative.
I mean,
we're not laughed
but I think the reason we wanted to talk about this is because obviously it is such a current topic. It is something we talk about a lot, and that is the premise behind the Female Shit Show. It's stuff that we talk about in our private lives that we're just bringing to public space. So it's not us trying to be negative. It is literally just the kind of gossip that we talk about amongst ourselves.
This is a perfect example of one of the conversations we just
would have,
and then we'd be like, oh my god, we should film that. Oh, like, this is the kind of thing. If this is the first one you listen to, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we're not usually this
horrible.
This probably won't make you laugh at all, but it might be something that you are thinking about, but maybe you just haven't said out loud.
We're just two people. We're just two girls in Manchester.
We're just two girls sat at home that haven't been able to go to Dubai this year.
Thank you so much for listening.
If you made it this far. If you want to join in the conversation, obviously, please do tweet us if you have any opinions on what we've had to say.
And just message on Instagram. We're loving the feedback still. The feedback's not slowed down, which is lovely. Keep messaging us, keep sharing as well.
Doing all that good shit. yeah, if you want to tweet us at the Female Shit Show. And their Instagram is the Female Shit Show.
And find us on YouTube as well. You can see our faces, you can see some funny little vids.
And if you wanted it to be private, you can also just email us at thefemaleshitshow@gmail.com.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for listening. We will talk at you not next week, but the weekend after.
Goodbye.